Well, it was very refreshing, I think, no matter where you are on the political spectrum in this country, Yvonne, to see what actually did resemble a debate. Of course, the first one was widely considered a debacle, and we did not have a second one. And so this was really uh, the best chance to see the people of the United States, because this was carried on most of the major networks and on cable television as well, on the cable news channels, for a total of 90 minutes to really see the two candidates go head to head and talking about actual issues.
Well, Steve, we did see some consistency in their approach when talking about those issues, with Donald Trump going for personal attacks over policy, it seems, and Joe Biden keeping it safe and steady throughout.
Yes, but again, contrasting it with the first debate, there was more substantive discussion. Yes, the president at times did try to steer the conversation to topics that the moderator did not really want to address in depth. They both got talking points online. There wasn't really too much new if you've been following them in at their Donald Trump at his rallies, and then Vice President Biden at his smaller socially distanced events. We had heard most of this before, but for the majority of Americans who don't tune into this day to day, it really did have much more of an impact.
And I understand the moderator had quite some praise following her performance in that debate. But obviously, coronavirus and the recession featured in the debate. But so did Joe Biden's son Hunter and alleged connections to China. Are we any closer to getting to the bottom of this, do you think, after this debate?
No, the Trump campaign really wants to keep the focus on that. Most of the mainstream media here has shied away from that story, just saying that the allegations are not verifiable, that there are suspicions, as a number of former intelligence officials have said, that there could have been tampering with some of this material by the Russians. But Joe Biden did have a line basically saying he has never taken a penny from any foreign source during his nearly 50-year political career.
Now, Steve, if you were an undecided voter watching this debate, do you think there were any standout moments that might have swayed you either way?
Well, there were actually some surveys taken of undecided voters, small sampling by one of the networks here, CNN, which said that Joe Biden performed better. That also reflected some of the instant polls, but there was no definite indication of any groundswell. I think the thing to keep in mind, Yvonne, is we've already had 50 million voters go to the polls through mailing in their ballots or going to the polls early in this country. So the number of undecided voters, which was a tiny slice of the electorate to begin with, is now even smaller.
And less than 2 weeks out from the election, where is campaigning usually at this stage of the race, and how are both teams faring?
Yes, well, of course, because of the coronavirus, this is not a normal campaign year. Although President Donald Trump seems to be doing his best to act like it is, he has been criticized for holding these tightly packed rallies of thousands of people. Most people in those audiences not wearing masks. He will be doing 2 such events in Florida today, and looks like he's doing 3 on Saturday. And he's talked about doing as many as 5 per day before Election Day, while Joe Biden, who I'll be with on the campaign trail in Pennsylvania on Saturday, is doing much more subdued, smaller events. The president has mocked Biden for having people sit in circles. But he's also come up with an innovation, which we might see again in the future, post-pandemic, which are these drive-in rallies where people drive up in their cars and then sit and honk their horns instead of applauding.
We certainly have had a lot of unprecedented moments in this campaign. Just finally, Steve, do you think we'll see record turnout, and what is driving that? Do you think the pandemic has definitely contributed to that?
Yes, because people have found out that if you do get a ballot mailed to you, you can just sit at home and fill it out. But we have seen an amazing number of long lines at polling stations across the country for the early voting. So record turnout perhaps on election day, but overall, yes, it does look like we're heading for record turnout.
Steve, an exciting 11 days to come. Thanks so much for
Yes.
joining us. No doubt we'll speak to you very soon again. Thank you.